Tiny T here, and I am reviewing here the Masterbuilt 140s. Now this one doesn't have the Bluetooth and stuff in it. I steered away from it. I thought, no, I don't really want anything, all that automatic stuff. I got a separate meat probe I use, and that's always worked for me. So I'm gonna go with that, and I want to keep it simple. I figure simple is usually a little bit better. So, but you can see it has 4 shelves in it, and has a place to put in your wood for the smoking, and it's got a electronic timer and temperature control up here, very simple to use, and then a place that you can open up to vent a little bit if you want to let some of the smoker heat out. But right now I'm going through what they call a smoking period. I don't have anything in there yet. I got stuff ready to go in as soon as I get this part done, but you run it up to 275 degrees and leave it for 3 hours, but the last hour or last 45 minutes you put some wood chips in. That's where I'm at right now. I got some wood chips in there, and I'll let it smoke for 45 hours. I noticed when I first turned it on, there's kind of a smell that you get when you first burn off. I don't know what it is. It's coating or something that's in there, and not something that probably tastes very good or smell very good on your meat if you're smoking meat. So it's a good idea to make sure before you use these that you do this smoking period where you don't have anything in it and break it in. So anyway, some of the reviews had said that it doesn't heat up in cold weather, and I'm not sure what temperature they're trying to go to. It has a max of 275 degrees on it, and it was 54 degrees when I turned it on this morning, and it went right up to 275 within half hour, 45 minutes. It was up, full temperature, and so I've not had any trouble with that. They also complained about the latch over here for the door breaking, and while it looks a little bit flimsy, so far it's holding. I'm not abusing anything on these, so I just open and close them. We'll see how that lasts, and I'll review on this later after I see how it does with the meat. Just there is some assembly that you have to do inside. It's mainly just take all the packaging off. Make sure you get all the packaging off, the label off the window, any of that kind of stuff. The foam, make sure you get all that out of there. The trays are all wrapped. Everything is wrapped in there. But there's nothing inside that you have to assemble. On the outside, you have the tray that you put the wood in. Let me show you that. It just real simple here. Pull it out, put your wood in there, put it in, and then you gotta dump it. There's a tray in there that you gotta put in that it dumps into. So put that in. You do have to, there's some stops on the front here that just help it when it sits down, it sits on that rather than on the bottom. And you got some wheels on the back with some levelers that you got to use. So the wheels go on there, you lean it back and you're able to wheel it around, and it's got a cord that comes out, and those you have to put on. Then the only other thing you have to put on, this timer comes, it has a plug that comes out of the machine here, out of the smoker, plug that comes up, and this has a plug that snaps into it. It only goes on one way, and you have to slide that on and put 2 screws in, and then the handle, it has 4 screws, 2 on each side, and that's the only assembly there is. The wheels on the back, the stops on the bottom, and the handle on the back, and the timer, and that's it. Otherwise it's just putting in the dump for the wood chips and unwrapping and putting your shelves in, and that's all I've done, and then plug it in. Now the only thing I wasn't quite sure about that I hadn't seen on these is this tray that comes with it. And that tray, if I can show you here, has a couple of welded on, what you call them, brackets, I guess. And this is a grease tray. And it's kind of ingenious. They got a couple of brackets here that slides into these, and you gotta go right to left on this model. So you just put it up there, slide it on, and that catches the grease that comes out of that. If you have anything greasy, it'll come down. So that part was the only thing I wasn't sure about when I was putting it together. or assembling it, and I saw this. I thought, well, is that a tool tray? It looks like a nice little tool tray. I don't smoke a lot of greasy stuff. Most of my stuff is in pans, either summer sausage that wrapped. It does have some stuff that drips off, but usually it'll catch in a pan and not be a problem. So, but I'll put that on just in case. I don't smoke chicken and things like that. So much of my smokers, mainly I do summer sausage. It has a I don't know what you call them, a casing that you fill up with a sausage stuffer and that kind of thing. And then I do sandwich meats, which are baked in like a bread pan, and so most of the grease stays in that stuff. And I just put those wood chips in, and you can see they're smoking at that 275 degrees. And if you look at the dial there, it cooled down just a little bit. 273, it goes up and down from there to 275, and the heat comes on. Then you got your power light there, and the controls on it is you got the power button, you turn it on, and after you turn it on, you press the temperature here, and then go up and down to set to what temperature you want it to get to. And when it gets to that, it'll then shut off and cool and heat up again. It'll keep it at that temperature. So you set that to what temperature you want to cook at. It also has this button, you press that, and it's a timer. And you can see I got 9 hours. I can set that and I can increase it. I don't go by the timer. I have my meat thermometer that I put in there, and it alerts me when it's done. So I just always keep the temperature up there so it keeps going all the time. And you can see it went just a little bit higher there, but it'll go up and down. You can see the heat shut off on it, so it'll come back down. That goes on and off. It's the elements on and off on that. So anyway, so far, people said it didn't heat up in cold weather, but for me, I haven't tried 0 degrees or anything like that. We don't get that kind of temperature. I wouldn't be outside doing this, but we're down to about 54, and it heated up with no trouble, and not had any problem with it. So it seems to be working real well. That was the only thing that concerned me when I bought it, when they said it had trouble heating, and maybe that was just a poor model that they gotten. But so far, I've been real happy with it. I've been careful because they, not to, when I was unpacking it, just to make sure I took care with it, and everything seems solid. I don't see any, leaks around here, around the door. I don't feel any extra heat coming out, hardly. It's warm all over, so a little hot, but not real hot. I mean, I can keep my fingers on there. It's not hot before it's going to burn me, at least not there. But anyway, I won't open it up till it gets done with the smoking here, but so far, happy with the purchase. And I did get this at the Academy, and the price on it was $249, I believe. And they had another one with a Bluetooth model that was $299, I believe, is what these cost. And like I said, I want to keep it simple. I don't need the Bluetooth technology on it, and that has some automatic shutdown features on this, but I'd rather use a meat thermometer. And I think those have a meat thermometer that's built into them, and if that went wrong, then I might have to get rid of the whole smoker and get something else. I don't know, but I'll keep my own meat thermometer that I've used and been happy with to check when it's done, and actually got a new meat thermometer in that one I'll be using on this today, and I might do a review on that. So anyway, so far happy with the Masterbuilt 140S.